I'd like to thank my Patreons for allowing me to come to Japan and make this video. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Also, if you're interested in my Metatron merchandise, check out my samurai dedicated t-shirts. Link in the description below. Kumamoto Castle, a fortification known throughout Japan because of its signature color, black. The obsidian black castle, almost an architectural opposite of Himeji's dazzling white fortress, Hakurojo, the White Egret. Kumamoto Castle is considered one of the 3 premier castles in Japan, a large and well-fortified castle with strong defensive capabilities and an immense artistic character. The castle was constructed in 1601 by the daimyo or warlord Kiyomasa Kato. Now, many things happened at Kumamoto Castle over the centuries, but perhaps most importantly, it was the site of the battle between 20,000 samurai and the ruling Meiji government. This castle has seen real battle. As you may recall, in 1868 we have the Meiji Restoration, 9 years into the Meiji era, and we have the Seinan Civil War or Satsuma Rebellion. The castle played a pivotal role in this rebellion, during which the famous samurai Saigo Takamori led an uprising in Kyushu against the new imperial power. Kumamoto Castle was the main garrison of government troops in Kyushu, and Saigo attacked the castle in early 1877. Despite being outnumbered, the government forces were able to withstand 2 months of siege, forcing the rebel forces to retreat. Kumamoto Castle, one of the most impressive castle experiences in Japan. The complex has a huge variety of buildings and about 800 cherry trees, which turn it into a breathtaking cherry blossom spot in March or early April. The castle was built in 1607 and its construction took about 7 years. Unfortunately, only a few of the original buildings still remain. Some were burnt down during the siege of 1877. This is the Uto Yagura, one of the original buildings from the 1600s. It stands 19 meters tall and the foundation stone wall are about 21 meters. Now, what's impressive about this building is that it not only remained intact and standing regardless of the Satsuma rebellion, whereas many other buildings during that rebellion were burnt down, but it also sustained the strength, the force of the earthquake, and it's still standing. Kumamoto Castle suffered severe damage in the earthquake of April 2016. Foundations were damaged, walls crumbled, roof tiles fell, and entire structures collapsed. Following a magnitude 7.3 earthquake that hit the city on the 16th of April 2016, the castle was brought to near ruin. The tremors destroyed schools, offices, killed 225 people, injured over 3,000 people, and the aftershock waylaid 190,000 houses. Now, the Japanese have a very rigorous approach, and they always try to safeguard their heritage. So a great reconstruction effort has begun. It's now in its way, but it will probably take about 20 years to rebuild the castle entirely, and it will cost the government 63.4 billion yen. In 1607, Kyushu was teetering on pre-industrial revolution, with samurai lords jostling for power and influence in a series of battles and land grabs. This was indeed a period of great change. To the south, we have Satsuma, modern-day Kagoshima. The death of the shogun Toyotomi Hideyoshi in 1598 destabilized central power, and it led to the rising tension from rival factions, including the Shimazu clan, one of the most powerful and influential families in Japan. Kato Kiyomasa had to prevent an invasion of Kumamoto. He had served as Hideyoshi's military commander, and therefore, Kumamoto being an important military station, he understood that he needed to defend it at all costs. Kumamoto Castle was built. Kiyomasa knew the castle had to be unassailable in the wake of an attack from his opponents. Deciding to build the ultimate defensive fortress, he erected a formidable citadel of 49 towers, 18 gatehouses and 29 gates. The castle's pivotal moment came more than 2 centuries later, during the Satsuma Rebellion. This was the culmination of a long period of rebellions and reforms as Japan moved from feudal lords to the Meiji Restoration. All of this ultimately leading to the end of the samurai. In 1877, we understand that the hostilities between the Satsuma rebelling forces and Emperor Meiji were coming to a crisis point. A full assault at Tokyo to remove central power was in the plans of Saigo Takamori. Kumamoto was under the control of the emperor, and it was the home of the Imperial Japanese Army's largest garrison in Kyushu. From the point of view of the rebels, the castle had to fall. Clearly, the ruling government, the Meiji, knew this was going to happen. The fortress had to stand. With 20,000 samurai flocking to the Satsuma banner, Kumamoto Castle would become a battlefield. If the garrison failed to hold the keep, the rebellion would spread like wildfire. This had to be avoided at all costs. The castle garrison held off attackers for approximately 2 months, from the 19th of February to the 12th of April 1877. It did not allow a single person to enter its premises. The castle proved its defensive capabilities in battle, and that's very rare for a castle in Japan. This is one of the reasons why I chose to come here to show you what I could of the castle, regardless of the earthquake. Because differently from many castles in Japan, which never saw battle, Kumamoto did, and it stood firm. So when you see the walls, the turrets and the defensive structures, you know they work. Unfortunately, an accidental fire during the siege burned a section of the original keep down, the cause of the flames remaining unclear. The keep of Kumamoto Castle was burnt in 1877, but it has been meticulously restored and rebuilt in 1960. Kumamoto Castle is also famous for its approximately 600 cherry blossom trees. There are 3 types of cherry blossom trees, and more than 100,000 people coming from across all over Japan to see them blossom. The stone walls, referred to as mushagaeshi, meaning warrior back, are one of Kumamoto Castle's key features. Have a quite unique and steady base angle. As they go up, they become ever steeper, making them incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to climb. As we approach the castle complex, we will find 3 tenshu, or keeps, donjons. The Daitenshu is the main one, and it was built by Kiyomata Kato in 1600s. It's a 6-story building above ground with 1 basement. Then we have the Shotenshu, which is located in the front center and was built as a separate building after the construction of Daitenshu. They are connected via a corridor. At the front left is the Uto Yagura, which is called San no Tenshu, the 3rd Tenshu, following both Daitenshu and Shotenshu. Utoyagura has remained since the Edo period, so it's one of the actual original buildings from the Edo period. Kumamoto Castle is located in the center of Kumamoto city. It can be reached from JR Kumamoto Station by tram in 15 minutes, but you can also walk from Kumamoto Station to the castle in about 40 minutes. Alright noble ones, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content from the Metatron. If you missed it, please check out my Himeji Castle video as well, and the next castle video will be the Fukuoka Castle. Please click the notification bell as to never miss one of Metatron's videos. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.